Okay, so now you're 13, and you're in high school, or not?
Oh, I should say when I was 10, because you bring that up.
Right.
I started to play the accordion.
Okay.
Took accordion lessons.
Right.
And I forgot when I dropped them. I don't know if I dropped them when Ma died or before she died.
Mm-hmm.
But I did that for a couple of years.
Mm-hmm.
But I knew you'd think of that.
Right. So then you graduated from 8th grade. You were still going to Bradwell?
Yeah, I graduated from Bradwell.
Okay. And then you went to high school.
Right, South Shore.
Okay. So who were some of your friends at South Shore High School?
Most of them were scouts.
Okay.
That I've been in scouting with. I was there was a couple of them, from the block that were in high school with me and that. Well, at the same time and that. A couple of people that I knew from church were there.
Mm-hmm.
I think the only one you ever probably remember is David Rosenberg.
Okay. So, were you involved in any clubs or?
Yeah, I was in Movie Operators Club, but that was a great one because I got out a lot of classes to go run movie projectors for different things and that.
Mm-hmm.
We have a show every year at the auditorium that for I forgot which one it was, the March of Dimes or Community Chest or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, I think we did it twice here, I think, for each one. But we'd rent films and show films at the auditorium. I was in ROTC. All 4 years.
And besides Scouts, what other things did you like to do? You live close to 71st Street. Did you used to go to the show or hang out there?
Well, 71st, not as much. 75th, there was a couple shows. And 79th was, 71st they go to once in a while. But there was a Shore Theater at 75th and it was between Essex and Kingston. Mm-hmm. Used to go to a lot. There was the Ray Theater, which was at 75th and Exchange, that we went to. At Shelton once in a while, which was at 79th and Exchange. The Avalon, which was 79th and Jeffrey. And a few other ones that, And back then you could travel around and go to places like that as a kid,
So where did you normally hang out at?
Half the time I was involved in scouting. I was out a few nights a week usually for that. And I worked when I was 16. Well, I started working. Before that, I worked odd things that I could find. But 16, I got a job at a grocery store and started working. And so I worked. They weren't open only one night a week. So, and then when they closed, I went to work for National, and they were open nights. So I was there between being at Maryland work. That's where I was. And
so how old were you when you met Marilyn?
I was 17.
Okay.
And she was 15.
Okay, and how did you meet her?
I met her at church youth group, South Shore Community Church, and we've both been members there for years, but I don't ever remember her before that. And she has a sister. I met her sister the week before. I didn't know they were sisters. And I met her It was the second week we started up after school started, and I danced the first dance and all the rest of the dances with her that night.
Was that at school?
That was at church.
Okay.
Then that weekend, that Friday, there was a dance at school, and I went to alone, and she was there. We danced every dance. So I walked her home, and she had a couple girlfriends, and her sister, which I still didn't know was her sister. And the two other girls dropped off, and her sister's staying, and I'm wondering, when is this one going to leave? And we get to, she lived in a hotel, and we get there, and I find out it's her sister. And so I didn't even know where she lived in the hotel, And so that was Friday night. So Saturday night, I went over there and was going to go in and ask, and her apartment was on the first floor by the patio, and the window was open, and she was sitting in the living room reading a book, so I knocked on the windowsill and asked her to go to the show. Okay.
Let's see.
And that was her first date.
Okay, that was her first date. So then, did you officially ask her out, or did you just kind of date periodically, or what kind of was the next step?
Okay. I forgot if I saw her during the week or not that week. I saw her at church again, the next weekend. And I think we started going out right away. And I know time November came, we were going steady. And we got engaged at my senior prom. She was only 16, but she was behind in school. She'd been real sick when she was younger, and so she was a freshman at, she was 16 and still a freshman. So that's why the age thing there.
Okay, so Marilyn was born November 20th, 1937.
Correct.
And she was born in Chicago.
Yes.
And who were her parents?
William Grossberg and Virginia Grossberg.
Right. And she had a sister, Anna Mae.
Anna Mae.
And they lived in South Shore.
Right. Her mother managed Southgate Hotel, which was at 71st and Yates. And her dad worked for Pullman Motor Coach Company, or whatever you want to call it, made the Pullman train cars. He was a locksmith. And later on, I guess they closed the Pullman plant. He wound up being a janitor in the area. He was a janitor at the hotel for a while and that.
So did they live in that Southgate Hotel from the point she was born, or?
No. They had lived, the only other place I remember hearing about was in Jeffrey Manor somewhere. But other than that, I know they mentioned some other places, but I forgot where they were,
Now, what grammar school did Mom go to?
She went to Bryn Mawr.
Okay.
And then South Shore High School.
Right. So, what kind of things did Marilyn like to do when you met her? Did she have any hobbies, or?
She read a lot. She did oil paintings. I forgot if she'd started her crocheting and knitting back then or not. No, she did her paintings, and she was into oh well, lost thought.
Okay. So then she was she became a sophomore when she got engaged? She was a sophomore?
No, she was still a freshman.
We got a freshman.
Yeah, because it was at my senior prom.
Okay.
And so she was still a freshman. It was, June,
right.
But I graduated before she got out of being a freshman.
So then how long were you engaged?
We were engaged for 3 years.
Okay. And did Mom work at all during that time?
3 years and 3 months.
Okay.
Yeah, she had a part-time job at Taylor's, and she worked in the grocery store for a little bit, and that's about it when she was in high school.
Okay. So what did you guys used to do, like, on the weekends?
Oh, go to the shows, go to the museums. We used to love to go for walks. We go for walks at midnight along the lakefront. But as I said, you could do those kind of things then.
Right. And did you have the same friends when you were dating, or did you have a different set of friends now than you had before when you were in high school?
Basically, they were the same. Basically, they were the same.
Okay.
A couple of the girls weren't anymore. Actually, they were.
So then you guys got married. So what day did you get married?
September 21st, 1957.
Okay. And where did you get married?
South Shore Community Church.
And do you remember who presided over the wedding?
I can't think of his name right now.
Okay.
It was his second week at the church.
Okay.
And the minister we wanted was less than 2 weeks before we were getting married, and we could have gotten him to come back if we wanted to pay his plane fare and stuff to get back there, but